What? You mean that the juice was already poisoned? Mr. Lee nodded. But how can is it here? Mr. Min slowly opened his eyes, adjusting the light. He moved his eyes around and saw a figure sitting in front of him. His vision was still blurry, but to his surprise, there was an image snapped in front of him when he looked at the person. Tears built up in his eyes. The man sitting in front of him flashed a weak smile and wiped his tears. Yoongi, is that you? Yes, Appa, it's me, your son, Yoongi. He couldn't control his tears anymore and sobbed while hugging his son. Meanwhile, Yoongi made his grip tight around him, as he just wanted all the paternal love. Forgive me, my son. I wish I could apologize to your mom and sister too. Forgive me because I wasn't able to protect them. It wasn't your fault, Appa. Don't worry, I'll sue each one of them. They will pay for what they did. Mr. Min broke the hug and looked at him. Everything was a plan. I didn't know they were planning against us. I didn't want you to become a part of this evil world. That's why I have sent you far from their reach, because I know once you grew up, they will drag you in this gang. I wanted you to become a good human and not like me, so that your mom would be proud. But she didn't stay alive to see you. And my poor little daughter, I don't know whether she's alive or not. I will never forgive myself for abandoning her. Don't blame yourself, Appa. You did what you could, and Vayan, she's alive. He quickly looked at him as tears of happiness filled in his eyes. My princess, she's alive? He nodded. Yes, Appa. Where is she? I want to see her. Where is Vayan? Jungkook closed the door behind him and walked inside. He saw Vayan sitting on the bed facing window. Her eyes were still and steady and she hardly blinked. Jungkook placed the glass on the table and sat on the edge of the bed beside her, maintaining a little distance. She slowly turned her head towards him, then looked at the glass of juice he put it on the table. Her lips seemed all dry, eyes cold. Feeling any better? She again diverted her eyes outside the window and gave a little nod. There was an awkward silence for a minute until she broke it without looking at him. Why did you tell me to not drink that juice? Because it was poisoned. How did you know? I just know. She nodded. I see you're losing trust in people around you. She looked at him as he raised an eyebrow, showing he didn't get your words. You could have told Sulgi she's the one who brought it. Or are you getting betrayed by your own people? He let out a sigh as he realized you're being sarcastic. No, it's just I don't trust anyone when it comes to saving my loved ones. This world is full of traitors. She slowly looked at him. What about me? Not even you. That's a relief. She again looked away. Jungkook's eyes fell on the vase on the table filled with tulips. You don't remember anything, right? Remember what? He shook his head. Again silence. You were right when you said things will go too far, that it would be impossible to go back. Every time you speak like that, I find a complete different person in you. You don't look good when you sound weak. I don't care if I sound weak or you can say I lose. I fell for you, Vayan. I couldn't control my heart. She was looking deep in his eyes, then a satisfied smile appeared on her face which was hardly visible. Never knew you were this weak. Why? Don't you love me? Love? Are you asking me whether I love the person who is a murderer? Who killed my parents? Who was like a monster to me? You never tried, right? Yes, because you didn't left any hope to begin with. Only if you were a little different, I might have given a chance. Try to give it a chance. She looked in his eyes as if his eyes are pleading you to give him a chance. There were so many unspoken words hiding inside his eyes. Will you leave this mafia world if I give you a chance? There was a look of disbelief on his face. Except this, I would do anything you say. No, just tell me whether you'll leave it or not. I will never do anything which you don't like, but please, just... She cut him in the middle. You really loves me? He nodded. Then would you do me a favor, please? He looked puzzled. What is it? After a long pause, she spoke. I want divorce. What? If you really loves me, then give me divorce. That would be the best thing you can ever do to me. Can you please just cooperate with me this once? I'm ready to change, fine. I won't be able to live without you. I don't want to get abandoned once again. She gulped and looked away as she didn't able to see those tears in his eyes. It's too late for that. You still love Kang Jun, don't you? She again looked at him. Why? Will you again kill him to death? Jungkook, I will still love him even if he won't be in this world. Now only you will realize that you will never understand someone's pain until you are the one feeling it. You have no idea how worthless you made me feel. The best I could do is not to hate you for what you did to me in the past, but please, never expect that I can love you. Jungkook suddenly got up as his veins were clearly visible on his hands. His tight fist was indicating how he is controlling his anger. He left from the room without saying a word. Jungkook, he's not opening his mouth. The only way we can know who done this is from him. Jungkook was already in the worst mood. He grabbed that man's collar and punched him in his jaw. It was so hard that his teeth came out while he groaned in pain. Jungkook kept on hitting him, pouring all his anger on that man. His chuckle started to bleed, but he didn't stop. It was now very hard to recognize that man's face because it was all bloody and out of shape. Minho tried to stop him. Jungkook, stop. What are you doing? He will die. Jungkook pushed him away and beat that man to death. Shit, he's dead. Now what? How will find about it all? What's wrong with you, man? Throw this bloody bastard out of here. He ordered his men and left while Minho messed his head looking at the dead body. What has gotten into him? Clear this mess. He followed Jungkook. A good news for you, boss, he said, walking inside the room where Lee Jung-gi was sitting with one more person. We were waiting for you, young man. Leo bowed down to him. I'm expecting it to be really good. No disappointment this time. He walked forward and handed him a file. We found the base unit of this new gang, he chuckled. Have to say that this gang nearly have 20 to 30 people, but they got master brains. So this gang is that so-called savior of John Jungkook? I doubt that. They have no connection with him. Lee Jung-gi looked at him confused. No, it's not true. There is something between them that we are missing out. What? If not Jungkook, then it must be that girl Wine. Lee Jung-gi, we are really close to our target. Now that we know everything, let's end this shit really quick. I can't bear those losers for long. What about Sulgi? She won't be a problem anymore. Did you told her everything? Everything that she needs to know. Wayan came in the balcony of her room and was looking down towards the main gate, which was clearly visible from where she was standing. She was observing in each and everything. Her eyes were on the guards, which were all around the house. The security remained so tight that even a single bird can't fly inside. She saw Jungkook's car entering inside as a guard opened the door. Jungkook scanned his hand at the entrance and came inside. She already knew what will be his next move, so she remained there as she knew that in no minute Jungkook will be there. As expected, Jungkook opened the door and made his way towards her. He stood beside her and looked in the same direction as her. "You knew I was coming?" She nodded slightly and turned to him. "Yes, should I welcome you?" Jungkook looked at her for a minute and then turned forward. "Isn't it amazing that even after a tight security you managed to escape multiple times?" He looked at him while he looked back with a grin on his face. "You caught me anyways." He laughed a little. "That's because it's impossible to escape from me." "Exactly." You again looked forward. "You know what is strange? That no one can break this tight security and run until they got special training for this." Wayan's heart dropped for a second as she again looked Jungkook. "What do you want to say?" "Nothing." Wayan slowly looked away while Jungkook side glanced her. "Did you take your medicines?" "Yes," he nodded. "Let's go, I'll show you something." He grabbed your hand and looked at you. "Your hands are cold." He brought you in his room and made you sit on the bed while covering your legs with a blanket. "You don't have to do this." "Not as a husband, but let me fulfill my responsibility as a father." You didn't say anything. He took out a necklace from his pocket and showed it to you while you looked him surprised. "Where did you got this?" Your eyes filled up. "You remember this?" he asked softly. "I gave it to my dad the day we got separated." "Jungkook, you really killed him, right?" "Why? Don't you already know?" "I had some hopes, but I didn't know you did that for real." "I hate you. I hate you so much." Your voice was low and painful. "I was 7 when I accidentally saw my father killing a man to death. I still remember that I hate him for months for doing such kind of cruel act." You slowly looked at him while tears were flowing from your eyes. "But there was a person who told me that my father is not a bad human. He was not good, but he was neither bad. I always try to figure out what does that mean." I knew my father was not a good person, but he loved his wife and kid unconditionally. Time passed and there was something started to build inside me. I wanted to be like my father. He became an inspiration to me, but not exactly like him. I wanted to be bad for bad and good for good. He chuckled, which was really stupid of me to think that way. My mother wanted me to not become like my dad. She hated him even though she never showed. She was a perfect wife and a perfect mother that everyone could dream of. Not long when she showed her true face. I still remember that evil laugh of her that still haunts me. How she played her perfect role in killing her husband and abandoned her child to get killed. Every woman who came in my life either left me or abandoned me, like I was someone without emotions. Is this a justification for your behavior with me? He shook his head. I never expect any forgiveness because I know I don't deserve it. I don't want to get separated by my child. I don't want to get abandoned again. I don't know what to say. I don't want to feel pity on you yet. I can't help myself. It would have been different if this child was made out of love, but it's far from that. I feel sorry for this child. He stood up and made you wear that necklace. I still wish I get what I don't deserve. Oh Yebo, let me carry this. It's okay honey, I can do it alone. Mr. Kang took the pot from his wife's hand and looked at her. You can't lift heavy weights in this condition. Yeah, I can still do every work. I'm only 7 months pregnant. Let's see how you're going to show your care when I need you the most. You don't even get time for your family. Always duty is your first priority. The two boys, which were sitting around the table, giggled looking at the cute fight of their parents. Don't worry, Amma, we are here. Hyung and I will take care of you well. Mr. Kang proudly smiled at his younger son and looked at his wife. Our boys are growing up. She smiled and nodded. Appa, now will you please put that pot down? I'm hungry. Yeah, what are you doing, honey? Kids are hungry. They all sat around the table and started to eat when the doorbell rings. You guys continue, I'll see. Yobo, I'll go. It's okay, it might be the neighbor grandma. She stood up and went to open the door. After some time she came back, but there was a look of fear on her face. Honey, these men are asking for you. She just stopped saying that when some bodyguard looking man came inside and one more man who was looking like their boss. It's been a while, Chief Kang. Mr. Kang stood up and looked at his wife and kids. You guys go inside. Why? Let them stay here. I said go. Yobo, who are these people? What's the matter? There's nothing much. Your husband really think of himself as a saint. Always mess up with others' work. I just came here to have some words with him. Yeah, Kang Suk. You know what you are doing, right? If you really want to live a peaceful life with your family, then stop that investigation right now. Or you know what we'll do. Do you come here to threaten me? I'm a police officer and don't afraid of any of you. Do whatever you can, I'll make sure to put you all behind bars. Mr. Min let out an evil laugh. Look at this crazy. Do you really don't want to live in this world, huh? Get out of here and just watch because shortly I'll make you all pay for all the sins you have committed in your life. A groan left from his mouth when Mr. Min stabbed him with a knife. Mrs. Kang screamed, looking her husband drenched in blood. She grabbed Mr. Min's collar. Lee Jung-gi's grip around his wine glass tightened. That fire was still visible in his eyes, which only wants revenge. I won't leave any of you. I'll give you more terrible death that you could ever imagine. Wayan's earpiece started to lighten, so she quickly wore it. She looked down the window and eyed everywhere. Jungkook was not home, so she quickly took his chance and went downstairs. A car stopped near her. It was from the special team, so no bodyguard doubted it. She opened the door and went inside. Welcome back, princess. Her eyes widened when she looked at that unfamiliar figure. Who are you? Your bedtime.